I'd like to call our meeting back to order. Mr. Linden, can you read us out of close, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that the Roanoke County School Board come out of closed session for the following: to discuss ongoing personnel matters under investigation pursuant to the personnel exemption at 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia, and to discuss the investigation of a student matter pursuant to the scholastic record exemption at 2.2-3711A2 of the Code of Virginia. And I also move to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the school board.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bajani?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens?
Yes, ma'am. Item 2.03, action from closed.
Madam Chair, I would like to move to allow students for RE 2024-2025, numbers 23 through 24, to be released from compulsory attendance pursuant to 22.1-254-B1 of the Code of Virginia as amended.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bajani?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens?
Yes, ma'am.
And I have one more action from closed, Madam Chair. I move that for student number 2024-2025, number 006, the recommendation for expulsion be held in abeyance pending completion of a conduct contract as designated by the superintendent.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bajani?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome, everyone. If you could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Item 4.01, announcement of changes to the agenda. We do not have any. Item 4.02, approval of agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bajani?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens?
Yes, ma'am. All right, item 5.01, Green Valley Elementary teams placed in Robot Drone League's National Junior Division competition. Ms. Kim Bradshaw and Ms. Cherie Anderson.
Good evening, Board Chair, Board, Dr. Nicely, Dr. Soltis. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you another award-winning elementary school. I'm going to ask Cherie Anderson from Green Valley Elementary to come forward. So Green Valley, this is the second year that they've applied for a state grant to have a competition team that centers around STEM. So this year, the school chose to do drones, and they had an after-school club that I believe they call the STEM Cardinal Academy.
Yes, Cardinal STEM.
Cardinal STEM Academy. And they were able to compete with their drones that they were practicing with all year. So I'm going to let Ms. Anderson share with you the results of their competition and introduce the staff and students she has with us, with her here tonight.
So, good evening, everyone. Truly, this is an honor to be a part of this group of students that competed at East Tennessee State. We went with no expectations. They had told us it was going to be a practice session. We had never done it before. And lo and behold, these kids went down there and did their thing and ended up coming in second place nationally.
That's awesome.
So it was really exciting, and it just shows the hard work and the skill set they had to do this. And a big shout out to all the teachers at Green Valley, because they had to have that foundation before they even got in 5th grade to be able to have the skill set to do this. And also a big thank you to the teachers that stayed after school every week to help them with this. They had the flying session set up in our STEM lab, and they practiced. Meg Swecker, our ITRT, had gone to Bristol to judge a competition, so she knew what they were looking for. Kelly Cook's father built ramps to drive the cars up, so they had a lot of practice, and it showed when they went. So without further ado, I'll introduce our members. Ellie Viskeski, she's not here, but I'm going to read all the team members. Kinsey Hasis, she was one of our participants that was there. Lydia Hodges is not here. Emma Hudson, Graham Miller, Alyssa Parr, Mia Silva Gambini is here. Our next team was the team that won the Rookie Award. We did get the Rookie Award for our first time being there and doing so well. That team consisted of Aiden Dent, Jonah Kelly, Cole Luster, Gael Ucho Cordero. Then we had a team that won the Autonomous Award. That means they coded their drones and their drones flew by themselves. There was no driving the drones or with the remote. They had pre-coded them to go through a circle, and they could do flips and everything, so that was really cool. Those team members are here. Mel Brookshire. And she is holding the award that we won. Conrad Lucas. Alex Owens. Nathan Smith. And Finley Ray. And I'll just put a little plug in. This was the team that I coached. Our second place team that came in nationally consisted of Isla Ashworth. And she's holding our award. Wesley Bishop. Noah Ingles. That's Wesley. And Teddy Thompson. Our second place team was coached by one of our teachers, Grant Sports. Our rookie award team was coached by Nick Swicker, Kelly Cook. And then Meg Swicker was our other coach.
This is about half the team.
And I will say, I want to just say thank you to the school board for always supporting us and checking in on us as well. So here's our Cardinal Stillman Academy.
Taller to the back and step up.
Know when you're tall.
Taller to the back. This is the STEM challenge here. You didn't know that. We're doing this taller to the back, shorter to the front. Here we go. Oh, you guys can stand up high. You got a red shirt on. Let's see if this fun is even more red for you.
Think that'll work?
Let me get you guys to slide down this switch, just use it where you want. Slide down the switch, I can slide down the switch. Come down, slide down right here. Slide on down, slide on down, slide on down.
While he's getting us ready, we do have a drone soccer club that is starting up that these kids will be participating in, and we're hoping to onboard some of our
soccer work?
Everybody, look that way. Moms and dads are all yours. Go. Sounds good. Going once. Twice. Let's see if I can get it from here. If not, I'm heading into the audience here. Oh, no, I can get it. Okay, here we go. Very good. Congratulations.
I'm just going to say a quick comment. When I was visiting my schools, I stopped in and was talking to Cherie about everything, and I actually saw the lab, talked to the teachers, and saw what they were doing, and I didn't think I could do it. I mean, it was pretty impressive, the programming, and honestly, the enthusiasm from our teachers who were leading it was palpable. So when our kids succeed, it's not only because of the drive that their parents instill in them to do better and be better every day, but it's the teachers who are behind them, and they felt them behind them 110%. So thank you, everybody, for supporting our students tonight.
Yes. Congratulations, Cherie. I had a chance to meet with Cherie before she left on the trip, and she was so excited about it and so proud of her students. And then you sent me pictures afterwards because you were so proud of them. So I'm just congratulations to you and your staff, to Meg, and to your students. What a great accomplishment. Anything else? Okay. All right. 5.02 State FCCLA Officer Report, Ms. Skylar Fitzgerald. Welcome, Ms. Fitzgerald.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the school board, and Dr. Nicely. My name is Skylar Fitzgerald. I'm a senior at William Byrd High School, and I attend Burton Center for Arts and Technology. I've completed 2 years of early childhood education and am currently taking teaching internship. An important part of my high school career has been my involvement in Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. FCCLA is a career and technical student organization, or CTSO, for family and consumer sciences education. The main focus of FCCLA is the family and developing leadership skills. I've been involved in FCCLA for 4 years. I'm currently serving my second term as Virginia FCCLA State Officer. In addition to my role as the Vice President of Development, I'm a member of the Board of Directors for the Virginia FCCLA Leadership Foundation, which ensures the continuation of inspired youth leadership by supporting the growth and progress of the Virginia Association of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, by providing financial support for a wide range of projects, activities, and scholarships. This past summer, I had the amazing opportunity to travel to Seattle, Washington, where I ran for a national office at the National Leadership Conference. Even though I didn't become a national officer, this was an amazing experience and taught me a lot of valuable life lessons. In the fall, I attended FCCLA Day at the State Fair and 3 Virginia FCCLA College Days at George Mason University, Bradford University, and Norfolk State University. At each college day, I led presentations and workshops and networked with chapter members from across the state. In April, my term as a state officer will conclude at the Virginia FCCLA State Leadership and Recognition Conference, an event that recognizes chapters and chapter members for their efforts in membership recruitment, community outreach, competition, and so much more. Over the past 4 years as an FCCLA member, I've improved my public speaking, professionalism, networking, and leadership skills. I've had the privilege of traveling to 4 different states, our nation's capital, and all across Virginia representing our state delegation, my local chapter, and our community. None of which would have been possible without the support of my advisor, Ms. Kinzer, my parents, chapter members, my administration, and you. Thank you on behalf of Virginia FCCLA for your continued support of our organization and family and consumer sciences.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. You're so well-spoken and poised.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you are so well spoken, especially to be so young. It's awesome. You have a bright future in front of you. When you interview for a job, you're gonna kill it.
Congratulations.
Yes, very
Thank you.
nice.
Item 6.01, report by Student Advisory Council Representative, Mr. Nathan Rogers.
Dear Madam Chair, Dr. Nicely, and members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to share information from our recent Student Advisory Council meeting held on February 5th, 2025. The meeting focused on technology and school safety, featuring presentations by Jeff Terry, Director of Technology, Ryan McCormick, Associate Director of Technology, James Edwards, ITRT, and Dr. Rhonda Stegall, the former Assistant Superintendent of Administration. Mr. Edwards provided an overview of the district's transition to Canvas and engaged students in interactive feedback sessions. This feedback will be used to inform future IT and professional development initiatives. Mr. McCormick introduced students to the district's early stage efforts in incorporating AI tools for learning. Students expressed interest in understanding how AI will be integrated into their coursework and what training will be provided for teachers and students. Mr. Terry presented updates on data security and privacy, highlighting phishing threats, monitoring tools like Lightspeed, Gaggle, and Verkada, and anonymous reporting via SpeakUp. Dr. Stegall led a discussion on school safety initiatives, including the importance of clearly marked hard corners for lockdowns and potential changes to safety drill procedures, such as during lunch block simulations. Students recommended improving hard corner markings and expressed interest in conducting unannounced drills, which Dr. Stegall clarified that all lockdown drills must comply with state notification laws. We are also working on this year's Student Leadership Conference, which will be held on Friday, April 25th. This year's theme is Resilience, Rise Strong, Leadership Through Challenges. The next Student Advisory Council meeting is scheduled for March 5th, 2025, focusing on instruction and opportunity-ready skills with Mike Riley, the Executive Director of Secondary Instruction, as the featured speaker. Thank you for your continued support of student leadership in our district.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Item 7.01, public hearing on the 2025-2026 annual budget, Ms. Susan Peterson.
Every year before the school board approves its budget for submission to the appropriating body, the board must hold at least one public hearing to hear the views of the citizens. Public notice of the hearing must be given at least 7 days before the hearing in the newspaper, having general circulation in the This time is set aside to hear these public citizens. It was advertised at the Roanoke Times on February 9th. Do we have any?
Thank you. Item 8.01, hearing of citizens for agenda topics. We do not have any. Item 9, consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
A second?
Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. London,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Kajani,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens,
Yes, ma'am. Item 10 point, whoops, let's see. Item 10.01, hearing of citizens for non-agenda topics. Do we have Aaron Bryant here? Okay, so we have no speakers tonight for the non-agenda topics. Item 11.01, report by Roanoke County School Superintendent, Dr. Nicely.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. They don't know I'm going to do this, but I want to ask Mr. Riley and Ms. Bradshaw, as well as Dr. Soltis, to come up here for just a moment. And while they're doing that, I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Bradshaw to say we need to offer Skylar there, who's obviously a future teacher, an early contract, so we'll work on that for her. They don't know I'm going to do this, but today is a really exciting day because, as you know, one of our big projects that we've worked on for a number of years, and this year is really kind of coming to fruition, is our Opportunity Ready Graduate Program. And this is a K-12 initiative because it starts at elementary school and middle schools. In fact, some of you, maybe with younger students, may have just participated in our recent student-led conferences, and that's a part of the skill development in our elementary and middle school age children to learn to talk about their own learning, to articulate that, and to provide evidence. At the high school level, students now at all 5 high schools, which we've taken this to scale, have the opportunity to demonstrate those skills through a portfolio of evidence that they collect over their high school experience, and then as seniors defend that portfolio to demonstrate that they in fact are opportunity-ready graduates. And so, as you know, this is the first year in Roanoke County Public Schools that students at all 5 schools will be able to actually earn an opportunity-ready graduate diploma seal. And we actually got them in today. And so I'm going to ask these guys to help give you one, if you don't mind.
Does that mean I'm opportunity ready?
You are opportunity ready.
Yes!
We get the seal.
If you guys want to get. And I asked them to come up and help me with that because we have our current directors of instruction. Dr. Soltis actually was the director of instruction. I did that role, but this has been a long time coming to really put that together. A lot of ideas early on, and it's just so gratifying, all the work. And it's not just these guys leading it, but at our school, our principals, our teachers doing the hard work, our students stepping up. And when you see something that people have been working on for a long time really kind of come to fruition and become very real in a very real way, it's pretty exciting. So thank you guys for your help. And I just want to kind of give a shout out to that. So February, of course, is also School Board Appreciation Month. Therefore, some of the signs and some of the goodies that some of our students and schools have supplied. And Governor Youngkin has actually issued the following proclamation in honor of School Board Appreciation Month. So I'd like to read that for a moment. Whereas school board members are elected or appointed to represent the interests of students, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders, and whereas school board members play a vital role in ensuring that students across the Commonwealth have access to a high-quality, rigorous education and are best positioned to uphold educational excellence in Virginia schools, and whereas school boards are the governing bodies responsible for the oversight, success, transparency, effectiveness, and outcome of school systems across the Commonwealth, and whereas local school board members work for their community's parents, businesses, education professionals, and other community members to execute a shared vision of success for students, and whereas these decisions affect the present and future lives of children and chart a path to prepare all students to be productive workers in the Virginia economy. We call that opportunity ready here in Roanoke County, but also informed and engaged citizens in our pluralistic democracy, and responsible and good neighbors in our communities. And whereas School Board Appreciation Month acknowledges the contributions, dedication, and service of Virginia local school board members, Governor Youngkin, of course, recognizes February 25th as School Board Appreciation Month. And so on behalf of the students and staff of Roanoke County Public Schools, I want to thank each of you for your dedicated service to the citizens of Roanoke County through thoughtful stewardship of public schools. Each of you cares about students and about making decisions that you believe are in the best interest of them and the teachers and staff that work so diligently to educate and support them. So thank you. We get a round of applause for our school board. This also, by the way, and she only gets a week, not a whole month like you all, but this week is also School Board Clerk Appreciation Week. And while we do not want to embarrass Mrs. York with a proclamation or a long speech, so I'll hear about it later, we do want to let her know how much she is appreciated and thank her for her hard work and dedication. So thank you, Mrs. York. This has certainly been a rough winter for us so far in terms of weather and being in school, and I want to thank, first of all, express our deep appreciation to Mr. Kegels, Jeff Meacham, Kathy King, Jerry Hubbard, and the many hardworking transportation and maintenance staff members who have been working late nights and early mornings to do things like checking roads, clearing parking lots, and just making sure that we keep students and staff as safe as possible. We also want to, of course, thank our families and staff for their resilience during these times and patience as we do our best to make the most thoughtful, weather-related decisions we can based on what we know and when we know it. Having said that, we do plan to be in school tomorrow and have a normal day with a few bus routes modifications. We'll also be announcing, board members, that in order to make up some of our lost instructional time, we do have 2 early dismissal days still scheduled for this year. Those are Wednesday, February 26th. That's actually next Wednesday, and also Thursday, April 17th. Those will now be full days of instruction for our students. So just want to make that announcement, and we'll, of course, get that word out to our staff and our parents tomorrow. So that announcement will go out accordingly. So that'll affect next Wednesday as well as the April 17th early dismissals. We're also very proud of all of our students participating in a variety of special events this month, including the RCPS District Science Fair, which is this Saturday at 12 o'clock. It's going to be housed over at Northside High School, but that's, of course, students from all of our high schools and middle schools. We've also had all-district band and choir events, and it's been really wonderful to get out and see just the amazing musicianship from our middle school and high school students. The RVGS Project Forum was a couple weeks ago, and of course we have a number of our student athletes participating in playoffs coming up, so we want to wish good luck to everyone. Finally, we want to congratulate Northside High School Principal Jill Green. I have the Roanoke magazine right here. She's being featured in the Roanoke magazine. There are 20 Women Over 50 article highlighting her achievements and the impact she has made as an educator and principal. So congratulations to Ms. Green, and very well deserved. Thank you.
Dr. Nicely, I think there's one thing that you might have forgotten to mention, and I think we have a special guest here to take care of that agenda item.
Oh. If you all don't know, this is Superintendent Kim Halterman from Allegheny Highland Schools. So
Thank you for
what a
being here.
surprise.
May I take the microphone?
Of course.
All right. Good to see you this evening.
As well.
Madam Chair, members of the board, it's lovely to be here tonight, actually on behalf of the Regional Superintendents Group that Dr. Nicely very capably chairs, and that Regional Superintendents Group has recently selected him as the Regional Superintendent of the Year. So I'd love to tell you more about that, but we're going to clap for him. Just in case that you're unaware, and I'm confident you are aware, I want to take a moment to share with you the leadership that Dr. Nicely provides to our regional group. He brings us together across our region, which, if you don't know, stretches all the way up towards me in the Allegheny Highlands, all the way down to Pittsylvania County, and expands our region, and we're able to collaborate with each other thanks to his hard work. Now, we appreciate his organization and his way of bringing us together and helping us to grow as professionals. We also appreciate his success here in Roanoke County. So it was really magical for me to hear you all talking about the Opportunity Ready seal in the hallway, because that's one of the things that we're excited about across the region. And we really appreciate your hard work on that, but of course, Dr. Nicely's hard work on that for a long period of time. We know that you're making students in Roanoke County Opportunity Ready through everything from student-led conferences at the elementary level to a special graduation seal when they're done. And we really appreciate that hard work as your colleagues. So my honor to be able to say that to you this evening. He had the honor of embarrassing me last year just a little bit, so I'm returning the favor. And I'm also bringing you a gift of coochie sauce.
Oh, wow.
From the Allegheny Highlands. So there you go. There you go. Congratulations. And thank you, Madam Chair,
Thank
for
you
letting
for
me
being
interrupt.
here. And thank you to Chuck for arranging this surprise.
Board members?
Oh, picture, okay.
With who? You got them on, yes.
All righty. Guys, put your sticker on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
She was, by the way, the superintendent, regional superintendent of the year last year for all her great work in merging Allegheny County public schools. A lot of work.
Connections. Well, to be here tonight to do this.
Congratulations, and thank you for coming. Congratulations. Oh,
Were you surprised? Yes. Yay, that's fun.
I just want to know what coochie sauce is.
Yeah.
If you haven't had,
You've not had a
If
little
I have
coochie?
I'm from Jersey. I only know like gravy, which
you
is
might want to
marinara.
ride back up with her tonight.
You're
Okay,
yeah,
really?
You're missing out.
Oh, well, Ken, you can share. I know you're good at sharing.
Item 12.01, reports and inquiries of board members. Mr. Greenway, would you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah, so absolutely to follow that's kind of hard, but Dr. Nicely, I don't think we were just told anything that we didn't know, right? I mean, I think you've done a fabulous job, your tenure here and what you've meant to the school division and staff and us on the school board, which is not easy at times, as we know. So well-deserved award, and again, I don't think, thank you for coming and presenting, but we think we've got the superintendent of the state, and maybe co-superintendent. So, but thank you for everything. We're indebted to you as a community in Roanoke County. Also want to go around and thank, as a school board appreciation, I always feel a little guilty hearing that because we're up here a couple times a month, and staff and everybody that makes this city, as I call it, run, it's own entity, or the staff and the administrators and support and custodian, everybody that makes this place run is phenomenal what it takes to do that. And so again, we thank all of you, and the recognition we get is very thankful, but it's kind of embarrassing because we're a small cog in the wheel of what you all do for our children. And then there's Edie, which I will embarrass. So we thank you for everything. I know we ask requests like, what time's the meeting start today, or anything like that, and you're barely. And but thank you for everything you do for us. Ken mentioned there's some teams that are getting ready for playoffs, so we wish all of them well. The Juggernaut over at Northside seems like they're doing really well, so maybe, would this be the third title in a row if they can get it?
Let's hope.
Yep.
He doesn't want you to say
It
that
would
loud.
be.
So, what's
I
that?
said he didn't want you to say it out loud.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, they are phenomenal, Brad. They got to see it, and he told me about it from Tuesday night. So, and lastly, I got to go tour Cundiff, the elementary school, and hopefully we'll get to tour CTE here shortly. And I know Brent went and saw Lynn Cove, and you know, it's phenomenal to see everything we worked for the last several years come to fruition to get these schools done. And so it's really exciting, especially when you come from the Cove and Cundiff footprints of elementary schools with open concepts and 4 or 5 classrooms in a room like this, to finally have walls and to be able to get, you know, instruction like the rest of our counterparts in the county. So it's exciting time for those construction projects. So thank you, and thank all you guys for what you do for our schools as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Linden?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know I've sat up here numerous times and said I think we've got the best superintendent in the state, and we do. It's I'm glad the other superintendents in the region have realized that as well. So congratulations! Truly a well-deserved award, and very proud of everything you've done for us here in Roanoke County, and will continue to do so. Keep up the good work. I too want to thank Edie, your professionalism as our clerk, second to none, and really appreciate everything that you do for us. So I will not embarrass you any more than that. And it was nice that there was no fine print about the deputy superintendent getting anything. So.
The deputy clerk.
Want to remind everybody about the March 11th meeting over at Mountain View Elementary School. The more people we can remind about that potential redistricting, of getting the people that are at Burlington, which is a little bit overcrowded, over to Mountain View. So appreciate, Ms. Newcomb, everything that you and staff have done to prepare for that, and hopefully we can promote that and get those families that will be affected by that potential redistricting over there to give us their opinions. I know I plan on being there, so. Want to thank our local elected officials who have been over in Richmond for the past 6 weeks, trying to secure more funding for us. I know that the senators, delegates from this area, some members of the Board of Supervisors have been over there trying to fight to get us additional funding and exploring funding options. So just want to thank them for their time. I know the General Assembly ends up, it's either tomorrow or Saturday, I think, so appreciate their efforts. And then is budget season, and what stresses people out more than money, right? I know that, just want to thank Susan and her staff for the work that they've done so far. We've got a tight budget, it looks like, this year. I know that you and your staff have put in long hours this already leading up to this, and unfortunately, we're probably going to have to tighten our purse strings a little bit with this current budget, but we will do the best we can and hopefully be able to give some encouraging raises and take care of our employees that truly mean so much to us. So just want to thank you, Susan, for your professionalism and everything that you do. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Vashani?
Yes, thank you. So once again, I just want to thank Dr. Nicely. Congratulations. That is quite an honor, and it's well-deserved, so congratulations. Thank you, Edie. I'd be remiss not to say that you're organized, kind, and humble, and I appreciate that, and you do everything with a smile, so thank you. There it is, that's a smile. Congrats again to Cherie Anderson, and the Glenver team. Really just super cool stuff going on. I'd like to see if, give them a little bit of money, maybe out of our school board budget. I know we've got a little bit to continue to educate those teachers so they can go to conferences, so they can teach our kids great things, and that's something that she and I talked about at one point, and I'd like to see us make that happen. Want to express my gratitude, as did Dr. Nicely, to our transportation staff. I know you were up quite early, past couple days, and also to VDOT, who are really working hard these past 2 storms to get our roads prepped and help us get our kids safely to school. I think they've done a great job. I attended the Wolf Trap Foundation for the Performing Arts at Oak Grove Elementary. It was really cool. They visited to showcase some interactive methods for families to enhance literacy through music. And as a speech-language pathologist, I thought it was just fantastic. The kids were engaging and using music to work on social-emotional learning skills, eye contact, and to improve their language skills. So it was a really neat program to see families come out and engage with each other in a healthy, productive, educational way. Really warmed my heart. I attended the General Advisory Committee meeting for our CTE programs, and I was excited to hear Mr. Sir and his team explore a few additional programs. These are things that I'm really excited about. I don't know where it's going to land, but I just wanted to mention a few. This would be for the ROCO CTC when we get it up and running. Biotechnology, possibly pharmacy technician, athletic trainer, which we know translates into physical therapy and maybe a PA or nurse practitioner road. Aviation, possibly at the airport. This is maybe a joint collaborative program we'd have with Roanoke City, Salem City, and we'd work on A&P maintenance and piloting systems. So these are all early discussions. There's no promises. I don't even know if I'm going to get in trouble for mentioning them, but I thought they were super cool, and I'm excited about that. There's another really cool program that we had to come visit us called Go Tech. I've mentioned it in the past, and Go Tech is used in middle schools. They're in about 28 school divisions right now in Virginia, and I'd really love to see them come to our division. They're funded by Go Virginia Grants, and it's becoming more and more challenging to find good tech ed teachers. And this program kind of offers a full range of materials and programming so that we can better prepare our students at the middle school level to start to think about technology in the high school and then further on as a career. Lastly, I attended a webinar, was really kind of interesting by the School Board Member Alliance. It was hosted by the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. And the session provided expert legal analysis on the new executive orders that are coming down from President Trump. The webinar was very enlightening for school board members like me who want to stay informed about policy and how the federal level is going to impact us locally. So I want to thank SBMA for providing such excellent resources. That's it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Hudson?
Well, first I'd like to congratulate Dr. Nicely. You know, when she brought you up and some words she said, it resonated with me, because if someone were to ask me what your greatest strength is, I think that it's bringing people together. And she said that you know, they really appreciated how you brought everybody together. And you really do with our schools. I know we have about 2,400 employees, and I've never heard a single employee speak an ill word about you. They always, I mean, I'm sure, but I mean, in reality, everybody always, you know, really appreciates you, Ken, and I want you to know that. You're a great superintendent. You've done a really good job for us over the years, and it's a well-deserved award there, so congratulations. And thank you, Edie. Edie is great. I just FaceTime her. I don't even call her, just so I can see the smile right there. So, also, congratulations to Jill Green. You know, I've told Jill many times, and she laughs at me, but I can't think of a better person to be in the position there at Northside. She does a great job leading our youth there, and very proud of her to get that award in the Roanoke magazine. And I'd also like to recognize Miss Fitzgerald from that FCCLA again. You know, with so many electronic devices in our kids' hands, I mean, I've noticed it. I serve in a high-level supervisory position in my day job, and one of the things I feel that people that are younger generations, they can't speak like that. Like, she got up there and had the confidence, and she was dressed nice, and everything she said was so clear and concise. I just feel like that is a skill that we're losing, and it's a breath of fresh air, and it makes me feel like there's a lot of hope, because I have many people that work for me that can't speak like that. So it's very impressive. But thank our staff again. Susan, I know you're working very hard getting all these budget numbers and things. It's a really tight season for you. I know that your car's out here, like I said last time, probably after everyone else's. So thank you for everything that you do. I know that hopefully we'll get some good things from legislation, like Mr. Linden said, and we'll be able to work some things out for the good. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Well, I'd also like to say congratulations to Dr. Nicely. We appreciate everything that you do for Roanoke County Schools, and it's a well-deserved honor. I'd also like to just say congratulations again to Ms. Anderson and Green Valley. You guys have done such a great job, and Meg, who's back there. So I just know how excited you were to go on the trip and how proud you are of your students and your staff. So congratulations again. As I mentioned before, I serve on the Roanoke Valley Governor's School Board, and I received a letter from Kaylee, who is a William Byrd High School student, inviting me to visit during their January intersession. And this is a time that's solely devoted to their big projects. So she did a great job. Kaylee did a wonderful job of serving as my guide. She took me around to the various classes and introduced me to students from not only our county high schools, but districts around us as well. And I had an opportunity to speak with the students. They all spoke with such intelligence and enthusiasm about their projects. So it was just really a pleasure to meet with these students and hear about what they're working on. Also today I received the Project Forum Awards, and we had quite a few Roanoke County students who were recognized for their projects, so that's great to hear too. Dr. Nicely and Dr. Soltis and I had the opportunity to visit the site for the new CTE building. It's definitely coming along. We were all so impressed with how much progress they've made since the last time we were there. And the other thing that I think we took away, that we were amazed at how big that building is going to be. It's so expansive. So that was great to be able to visit. Unfortunately, the weather yesterday prevented Dr. Nicely and I from visiting Cave Spring schools. I always enjoy seeing the teachers and the students in their classrooms, so I'm sure that we will make sure that we reschedule that so we can get into the classrooms. As Dr. Nicely mentioned, the Roanoke County Science Fair is this Saturday at Northside High School. I plan to attend that again. It's really fun to visit with these kids and hear about their projects, why they chose them, and what the results tell us. So I look forward to that. And then finally, I just also want to recognize Edie for all that you do for us. You are an absolute pleasure to work with. I've enjoyed working with you, and I appreciate all that you do. And that's all I have. Does anyone have anything else? All right, meeting adjourned.